Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using this soap. It's a sample. It's a Viking Shaving Soap called Ironside. This was a sample that was sent to me by Sepherton, and I want y'all to go over to Instagram and Sepherton Shaves. If you are not already subscribed or following him, I keep saying subscribe because he will do YouTube one day, and then you'll say, hey, I knew him before he was a YouTube star. Anyway, go over there, follow him, check him out. Cool individual, really nice guy. Throw my sample in my bowl. And next, I'm going to be using the Preshave from Phoenix Artisan. That's how it looks, because after I use it, I dry it like this on my tin, and whatever's on it, it gets like that. And then, after everything, my unscented balm, my Zingariman, my Simson synthetic brush, and I'm using a vintage Gillette, and a Titan blade. So, first time I'm using this blade, as I have this little pack here. I'll show you real quick with all my different kinds of blades, and I kind of like go through it like, which one is not open? Well, this one was not open, so I was like, alright, let's go with that one this time. So it looks like it doesn't have any glue on the blade, which is really good, because there's some blades that have sticky glue all over everything. It's a pain in the whole patootie. And here we go. That's all crooked. There we go. And it's a Monday. For some reason this week can seem really long to me. I don't know why. It just did. Alright, push this bad boy up here. I believe it is still in the screen. And of course, you know the drill. I take my soap, kind of smush it down. I don't know if y'all like watching this stuff, but and I don't know if you guys know, but I got two buckets. I got one bucket over here and one bucket over here. Both got water. I know they both got fresh water in them. Got a little bit more water in this. And again, let me say thank you, Seth, for sending me the sample. I really appreciate it, so I could try something without buying a whole tub, which I have been, because yeah, that's usually most soaps nowadays run about 20 bucks, give or take, either a couple of dollars higher, a couple of dollars lower. And one bad thing is the shipping. Oh my gosh, that's some crazy stuff, y'all. What was it? Straight Gold. I bought one soap. I believe it was like 22 bucks. Don't quote me. And then when I purchased it, everything said and done, came to like $30 and some cents. So holy snaps, shipping was $8 freaking dollars. $8. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna buy any more soaps for him because shipping's a little crazy. But if it's like the soap I bought was the chestnut one, so that's kind of like, interesting label, has Santa Claus on it, and I was like, I'm a label whore. I admit this, and that's my downfall in life. Is it's cool or pretty, I'm usually grabbing it. So of course I grabbed that bad boy, and after seeing the shipping and everything, I was like, oh well. Done did it, it's done, it's over with. Now I'm just gonna wait for it to come. Wow, there's a lot there. Alright. Preshave bar, throw in some water. Let me put this way. And throw some water on the leg and get this whole shave rocking and rolling. So, yeah, I always say, oh, nothing's going on with me. Yeah, I'm pretty boring, which is I basically am. But Because I know there's a lot of people out there in the world, they have a lot more drama stuff going on than I do. My bad problem is I have horrible medical. So, and I don't like telling people my medical situation because it becomes a Debbie Downer. Because everybody's like, so what you been into? I'm like, nothing. And they're like, oh, well, I see you're always travel out of state. Well, yeah, it's medical. It's not funsies. I mean, it'd be different. It's like, for an example, hey, you guys, I traveled out of state and I went skiing and I had so much fun. Yeah, that would be a fun story to tell. But to say, yeah, I had to go to Salt Lake for medical. And it's a real Debbie Downer. And I don't like saying anything, but if you ask, I'll tell you why. But that's why I go to Salt Lake. Not very fun, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can find my brush. Everything's white. And again, let me thank you, Sefferton. And may I mention again, go over to Instagram. Yeah, fucking follow him. He's awesome. He's a nice individual. He's taken some really awesome photos now of his shave of the days. And wow, if I could do those kind of photos, I'd be in there. I'd be golden. But unfortunately, I take most of my photos with my notepad, and the notepad quality camera is poopy. Really, really crappy. But it is what it is. But it gets the point across when I'm trying to take a picture of. To me, it's kind of like my vision is blurry. And when I look at it, to me, it looks alright. And I show my boyfriend, he's like, yeah, that's a bit blurry. I'm like, oh, well, I thought everything was going good and kosher, but apparently not. Blurry, but it is what it is. But, and that's part of what's going on with me, medical stuff. So far I'm doing great. Been staying home. We really needed groceries this month, so we actually ventured out into the great grocery store and tackled that with our mask. Got all our shopping done, out of the way, and I probably won't be leaving the house for a while. But, this thing that's going around is pretty spooky. It's like, and it hits everybody differently. So that, I think that part is the scary part. But, oh, so, what day was it? Saturday. Because we went paid all our bills and shopping Friday. And my boss was like, what do you want to do Saturday? I'm like, I want to go to the next town over. And they have a store. It says Pawn Store. But, oh, and is it Pawn? No. Antique Store. So that's my heater, I apologize. It's an antique store / fur store. Because what I wanted to do is make some shaving brushes out of different furs. And was kind of intrigued about it. Because I wanted to, for our next meetup, if whoever's watching for next meetup, you know what I'm going to do now. But anyway. I wanted to create shaving brushes, had a different kind of hairs or furs or whatever, and have it as a, for when we meet up, you'll fill the knots, and like, oh, and guess what kind of animal it came from? Well, okay, tell you the truth, I thought the shaving brushes, I don't have a badger one, but I've been looking at everybody's pictures because they keep posting their pictures of their brushes, and it looks like those badger hairs are really scraggly and like tough. It's like, not tough, that is not the word. It's the thickness, it looks more coarse. And then when we went to the fur store, I was looking at the fur, and actually asked the lady for a honey badger, and she's like, well, a honey badger, same as a regular badger. I go, you gotta be kidding me. She goes, no. So she showed me all the furs. I'm like, wait, this fur is really stinking super soft. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, okay, this is what I'm doing. I want to make brushes that add different kinds of furs. But I wanted to see before I start what a badger hair, badger pelt fur or whatever look like before I start venturing into other furs. Because I want to take the length of that one and kind of basically go off of that. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, I understand. So she took me, that's my hair, and we were looking at the furs. And then I go, well, one guy says maybe beaver fur. And she's like, yeah. So she showed me the beaver pelts. And I go, yeah, but these are so super soft. I go, don't they have it with the other hair sticking out? She's like, yeah. So she showed me, because it was what was it called? Unsomething. Basically what they do, Shirik. They take, because if you look at the pelt, it has hair like this, right? Long hairs. Then you got these shorter hairs. I don't know, you can tell right that. And this is the shorter hairs underneath, and they also have like small, it's a down underneath it all. The only way I could describe it as is kind of like sheep fur, or if you ever seen that Angora rabbit, because that Angora hair is really fine, and that's the down underneath. So you got your the thicker, coarser hair sticking up, and then you got this down underneath, and the shorter hairs. And what they take the beaver pelt and they'll cut it and shear it so they're all the same height. So when you touch it, it feels just like, oh god, it's so soft. It's so smooth. Well, anyway, we're looking at that, and I was like, ooh, $65 for that pelt. Or was it 65 cents? Anyway, I was like, okay, well, I was kind of trying to keep it in a $30 range because, oh god, it's so pretty. I don't know if I could bring it to myself to cut it up, because it is so pretty. Okay, here's all my hair goes. This right here. I think I'll hit that again. But, okay, so I looked at that, and we're looking at some other furs, and they had a lot of fox, coyotes, and I did not know there was that many species of coyotes. Yeah, all kinds of foxes, muskrat, and I thought the muskrat would be longer haired, kind of like a beaver, but I think what they did is they sheared it down. So I don't have all those guard hairs in it, but basically the hair in it is like a half an inch. I'm like, ooh. Because I was thinking, okay, if I tie my knot, I'm already going to lose 1/4 of an inch, so I need a little bit more length. So anyway. So, then I looked at raccoon. Raccoon's real pretty. That's $25. After a while, I was like, oh my god, it's going to earn me like $100 some dollars to get everything I want. And then I was like, well, because I know my uncle, he does taxidermy work, and he says, ask some of the taxidermists if they have any scraps. So I asked her, do they have like cutting scraps or whatever? And she was like, oh yeah, I do. So she went, showed us those, and the scraps are only like that big. I found some that were tails, like, you know, the tail of the animal, which is kind of cool. And then it has more of the longer guard hairs on it. So, alright, now we're talking. So those are like $5 a scrap. I mean, I think the best part would probably be from the main center part of the back. But that's kind of spendy after a while for a pelt. And the one fur I thought was like totally awesome. I don't want to admit this, but it was Wolverine. Now that I think would be a good brush, because it does look like the hairs that everybody's been posting on their shaving today photos with their brushes. Anyway, this pre-shave, you could probably just shave with that. this is what a long time ago, before I ran into these shaving soaps, I used to just use a bar of soap because, you know, it's slick. It did what it had to do, because when I use the cart, a lot of the shaving soaps were too thick and it clogged it up, and it seemed to mess me up more. Don't understand how, but it just did, because I think part of it is where it's thick enough, I'm always kind of going over it and keep going over it and keep going over it, so I get razor burn. So that's probably why I just used the basic soap back in the old day, because I'd have to go through all that lather to cut through to get to the hair, but you'd figure it'd be like that with the artisan shaving soap, which it's not. This has like more cushion to it. Not cushion, I'd lie. What's it called? Slickness. Which one day Chris Bailey will figure out on how to create a slick monitor so they could test all the shaving soap slickness. Till then, we're just stuck with our personal thought and opinion on stuff. Anyway, at the fur shop, looking at all the furs, getting excited, figuring out how I'm going to do it. I ended up buying some samples. Not samples, scraps of furs. So I didn't realize I grabbed a lot of fox fur, and I did grab a badger scrap, because I was going to buy a full badger. My boyfriend's like, well, you're just experimenting, so why experiment with a full badger? Let's just get the scraps and then figure it out from there, and then once you get down pat, then we'll grab the hide. Makes perfect sense. He's smarter than I am. He's smart but dumb. Let's just put it that way. He's so smart, and then when we want to go somewhere out and eat, he always makes me choose, because he's tired of making decisions in life. It's just, I don't know what it is. Sometimes you're just so smart, you just dumb on some things, because some things he's pretty dumb on. So, it is what it is. But yeah, we were in the store, I bought my samples, we got out in a small town, and all these cars were stopped, because the store's on a corner of the block. Which is funny, because at the front part you got the antique fur store, and on the side of the building, after you turn around the corner, there's another door. And I know in the past they buy furs, because they had it open. And this one guy had a whole bunch, I think, deer furs and elk. Because you could kind of tell just by looking at them, they're kind of coarse and tough looking. But anyway, we were looking at it, and then I go, why are all these cars stopped? You know, my blind ass. And he's like, can't you see those two? I go, see what two? He goes, right there. I go, right where? I go, what, was it an accident or something? He's like, no, look. And it was two white-tailed deer. They came off of the side street, and they're crossing the main street. Because in the town, it has two one-ways. One way going one way, which would be going north, the other one going south. And then you got your, of course, your cross streets. So yeah, that deer were just walking in town. And I go, where's your camera? Where's your phone at? Where's your phone at? Take a picture. And he's all fumbling around, because he don't ever use his cell phone. So he all stumbling around with it. And then he's like, well, I'll get their picture. So he starts it, and we just go around the corner and get to picture them in the street. In the, I don't know what building that was, but it's in their yard. And I go, oh, but it was cooler to take a picture of them in the street, so you know what's blocking up the street. But, yeah, small town. Deer just wander all over the place. You see them mainly on the outskirts of town, more so than inside. Like for us, our town's a little bit bigger here in Butte, and they do wander in town, mainly at nighttime. You see them crossing around the streets. We had one store, it was like a furniture store. The deer actually jumped through the front window, busted the window, and like tore everything up in there, and then jumped out the window. Oh, that was pretty funny, but probably not funny for the business. But that's how small of a town we're in. But yeah, that was my exciting trip to Anaconda to buy some fur for my experiment here. And of course on this side, the hair grows that way again. Which is weird. The rest of my leg hair grows that way. So when I shave, I go automatically against the grain. Because I tried doing it the 3 times, like how men do their face hairs, like go with the grain and against the grain, and you know, side of the grain and against the grain. Unfortunately, I did that. I think I tore up my skin because it was just like sore, raw, and it's kind of weird where you've always done one thing one way your entire life, and all of a sudden now you gotta do it backwards. It's like shaving this way, gotta get your angle again, and it feels kind of weird. And then do your entire life, and then you gotta stretch further to get further down that way. Where this way, you got the length of the razor. So anyway, how I went off on that, I don't have a stinking clue. But I am done. Let me rinse off the leg, and then we'll get rolling with this. But yeah, that was my weekend. And hopefully this week, when they go live, I could show them the guys in the group, the main ones that are like, they had experience with all the badger hair and stuff. Because I asked the girl about honey badger specifically. She's like, we got them in America. I'm like, okay. She goes, they're the same as regular badger. I'm like, I don't think so. And she's like, oh, no. So she swears up and down. I Google searched it, and I even looked at China badgers. And the China badgers are actually, their bodies are a lot smaller, and their hair, well, the ones I seen in the cage that they're jumping around that Pito put out was showing them, but they were like teeny. They were like teeny, like they look like a foot long. And the badger hair hide pelt is like 2 to 3 feet long. I mean, that's not including the tail I mentioned. And their fur is soft. It's like super soft. And it's like, what? How do they even say? So what I think it is they take the hair, separate it from the smaller piece of hair, which is kind of like a down, separate it, and they're just using the long follicles, which I was looking at the height, there's really not a longer hair follicles. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a winger. We'll see what happens, right? Okay. So all we can do is try. Because I know there's people here in America that are like, oh, I hand tie all my badger. I'm like, okay. So where do you buy how do you source your badger? So, not unless they're already purchasing it from China, where they already shaved the animal, and they already went through all the fur and picked up all the guard hair, and they're selling it that way. It's the only thing I could think of. But I don't know. They might be pretty spendy doing it that way, because they're still gonna have to charge the labor on picking through all that hair. Because I'm looking at some of this fur and I'm like, oh, I'm dreading it. It's gonna, to me, it looks like a lot of work. But maybe if I had 20/20 vision again, it probably wouldn't be quite so bad. But anyway, put that there, and done. And of course, I finished. Anyway, and let's go here. Let's recap everything. Let me put this on the paper so you can see it. Viking Shaving Soap. It's called Ironside. It smells good. It's not like really strong or nothing. It smells just like a regular old shaving soap. There has no like distinct scents. A lot of shaving soaps has this kind of smell. It's not really offensive or nothing. So it's nice and clean. So thank you, Sufferton. And Zingariman unscented Balm. I use a Preshave from Viking Artisan, my vintage Gillette, and a Titan blade. And I believe that is it. And I said a lot today, and I apologize. So at the end of this, and if you want a good drinking video, throw this in, and every time I say take a drink. Alrighty. Until next time. Later. Bye.